You boys got your notes?
I have my mental notes.
Why don't you take notes, Pickles?
It's too much.
It's too much. It's hard work. See, Shabby has all his notes. I have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. I have 7. I wrote down 7 things, Pickles, for this.
7.
That's how prepared I am. I believe Shabby's written a novel.
I have 9.
He has 9 notes.
Sentences.
We are so fucking professional. And welcome, everyone, and a happy, very super duper Merry Christmas to all of you. I believe from this time this episode comes out, Christmas is going to be just around the corner, a couple of days
Merry
ago.
Christmas.
So, you know, Pickles got to have his episode closest to Christmas. Prick.
Which, I gotta say, this would have been probably better to start off, because it's like the sweet spot between Halloween.
No, I
Christmas.
think I think you have to end it on a Christmas thing.
Yeah, but this is Halloween as well, right? Because it has
That's like
zombies in it.
It kind of is.
you're spoiling it.
Oh
Well,
yeah, we're
it is
spoiling.
on
Yeah, Christmas Carol's zombies, right? With zombies in the fucking
It's
title.
No, it's Zombie Christmas Carol.
Oh shit, my apple.
Oh shit! Who could have imagined having that?
Get it right, nerds.
No, fuck.
Pickles, it's your fucking book. You tell us why you picked this one for Christmas and what's it all
Well,
about.
You know, I don't know if people know this, but I'm a very cheerful guy when it's Christmas.
Oh yes.
I don't hit my wife or anything like that on Christmas.
Aww.
So basically, what I do is I read a Christmas Carol. And one day, I was like, I'm going to be edgy and search up horror Christmas carols. And I came across zombie Christmas carols.
Yeah, by
And
Marvel,
if you,
which is
by
weird because
Marvel,
I thought
funnily
this was
enough.
because I thought this was going to be Marvel Zombies: A Christmas Carol, right? But it has absolutely nothing to do
Yeah.
with Marvel Zombies. So
Yeah, and it has no Marvel characters in it at all. It's basically the Christmas Carol story, but with zombies.
basically,
It's just beat for beat a Christmas Carol. Like Scrooge is visited by the three spirits.
but there's zombies.
But while this is going on, there's zombies in the background eating people. And you know, Scrooge has to go through his past, present, and future to become a better guy. And when he becomes a better guy, the curse of the zombies is lifted.
So, speaking of the curse of the zombies, that was very strange, right? Because it seems like he's the patient number 0.
Oh no,
Yeah,
the horse
He
was.
kind of spreads it.
The horse is kind of patient 0, but what he does is when he touches people, when he's like miserable, he
Hold
spreads
on.
it.
So Ebony Scrooge went to a wet market and he ate a fucking horse spleen or something, and then he got a disease.
the horse
He was
bit him.
bitten by the horse.
Yeah.
I was making a reference to the coronavirus, but
Boo! Boo!
It was a weird Chinaman.
Oh, no.
Ebony Scrooge, the most popular Chinese name.
Oh my god, the zombies are actually all Chinese people.
Okay.
From the wet market.
Actually,
Cut this out.
Victorian era China.
This would have suited Batman well much more. Anyway, I did actually find myself comparing this to Batman Noel throughout the comic a lot. You know why?
Well, yeah, because they're both Christmas carols.
That,
This
but
one's
this
better.
captures a Christmas Carol much better. Much better. While Batman Noel just kind of, it does the beats of a Christmas Carol, but doesn't capture the spirit or...
Well, the Batman one was
any
trying
other
to be its
happiness or
own
anything?
take.
Yeah.
It was being its own take, but in a very uncreative way.
Yeah, exactly.
Very
But-
uninspired. Whereas this is very true to the story. Obviously, minus the zombies.
Very,
Um,
it's very true to it. You could remove the zombies and it could just be a Christmas Carol comic.
Yeah, pretty much. It was very good. Even at the start of it, it says it's like a Charles Dickens story adapted by McCann.
The dialogue,
Um,
and it's very wordy with this book, right?
Yeah.
The dialogue, it seems like it's ripped straight from A Christmas Carol, the novels.
I think some of it is. It's been a long time since I've read A Christmas Carol.
Well, I have a note actually here, and it says the book says, even though there are a lot of them, it reads surprisingly well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I had
very
fun
poetic.
reading it. Yeah,
Very
it's like
beautifully
that
worded.
classic. It fits the setting of your old timey England. So that works. One thing I'll say for the story, it's a Christmas Carol. I have not seen a fucking one snowflake in that story. They have like grass growing, sun shining. I'm like, where's the snow? Come on.
Because it's a miserable time for Scrooge. He's causing it not to
It's here in
snow.
Australia.
Like fucking, instead of feeding like the hungry, he's just giving out Fosters.
Also, speaking of the zombies, I had this hilarious thought, right? Because you know how zombies kind of like walk slowly, but that's from healthy people. Tiny Tim would be the shittiest zombie ever because he barely can walk now.
Boo! You can't talk shit about Tiny Tim.
It's like if what's his face on Breaking Bad was a zombie, Flint. He would just be like stumbling around.
It'd just be funny. It would be
Even-
sad.
I mean, he already talks like a zombie. You know.
Oh no.
But anyway,
Yeah.
what did you fellas like about it, by the way?
Oh. Well, I did like the setting. It was very what you expect from Christmas Carol. I guess the thing what we need to distinguish is Christmas Carol is the good in it, right? Like we all like Christmas Carol, and this is basically retelling. But can you give the story that, right? Because did it really came up with it? Because
Well,
we like Christmas Carol.
they're not trying to claim it as their own. It's very much a Charles Dickens story with just that added element.
But
And I think they
scream the
stayed
question.
very faithful.
it screams the question to me: why zombies?
Yeah, I get that. I think
Is
it came out during a time when zombies were kind of like all the rage.
Yeah, that's what I
You know, you
thought.
had that movie about zombies. I forget what it's called.
Zombieland.
No, it's like set in Victorian times. It's something zombies.
What, Pride and Prejudice and zombies?
Yeah.
I don't think that movie.
Then
was a
obviously
hit.
you also had The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
You had Zombieland.
Yeah. Ironically,
World
zombies
War
are something that
Z.
refuse to die, even as a genre.
I guess
Sometimes you wish it would, though.
were the zombies kind of like a thing they used to illustrate the hunger for wealth in Ebony?
Well, yeah, because in the story itself, it's like instead of zombies, it was just like poor people going hungry on Christmas and stuff like that. And you know, Scrooge being Scrooge is not really a passion. He's like the only wealthy guy there, and he won't give anyone any
guys,
humbug.
money or food.
hold on, guys. Does this story have a political message?
It's that socialist propaganda.
It's. I didn't know Charles Dickens was such a fucking SJW.
So they basically replaced the hungry people with zombies, which is kind of the same thing. When he learns to be a nice guy, the zombie curse is lifted.
It is pretty corny, the ending of this book, right?
Oh,
He
Yeah.
may as well be prancing about through the sunshine, right? With and then he's like
Zombies
lifting his
around him.
he's lifting his arms up, light is coming out, and it's turning zombies back to people. It was a bit corny, but it put a smile on my dumb fucking face.
Isn't that what Christmas is all about?
Exactly.
One of the funniest things to me is he kind of has this disease in himself, but he doesn't get affected by it. And there are like two instances in the
strange.
book where he scratches people and they turn into zombies, and I'm like,
Do you think
"Dude,
it's because of
flip
his,
your
They're
fucking
immediately-
nails?"
do you think it's because of his stubbornness why he didn't turn into a zombie?
He's staying alive due to pure fucking anger and spite.
Yeah. I also like the spirits in this. I know it's quite faithful to the books. You know, you had and I said Bob Marley. I mean Jacob Marley. You would be visited by three ghosts, man.
Was that your Jamaican?
Yes, that's
You
my
will be
Jamaican.
visited by three ghosts,
I
man.
think I do it in
No.
You'll be visited by three ghosts.
Oh fuck. Terrible.
Well, I thought the Jacob Marley design was good.
Yeah, with little cage on his face. That was good.
Yeah, and he was pretty much like a zombie as well.
It was cool.
What I really liked was the Ghost of Christmas Present. He kind of got zombified throughout the issue. I really enjoyed that.
It's because the day was ending, so he was like his body was dying as well.
Mm.
But the thing would be if there was a Christmas present the next day, he would be back to normal.
Right.
But it would be a new Christmas present, but it would be like the same spirit. It's very strange. And then they, straight off the bat, they introduce you to the ghost of Christmas yet to come.
Right. Which shows to be Ebony's himself, right?
Yeah, and it shows it's like his nephew rising from the ground or being a zombie and shit like that. And he was like, "Oh gosh, no, I don't want this to be my future Christmas."
Not a my.
It was pretty much like when he shows him the grave and he's like, "No." Then like it's revealed that like. And then it shows his little sister as a ghost and stuff like that. And then he wakes up and he's like, "You know what? I'll try being this whole nice stuff."
Oh,
and being nice kills him.
I think in the book they did the very Marvel thing, which is give your villain a sympathetic backstory. So he is like, his horse dies, his sister dies, his wife leaves him.
That's part of the book anyway, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I never read or seen The Christmas Girl, so I don't know.
I can't believe Charles Dickens was the original Marvel writer.
His name is Charles Marvel Dickens.
Let's do it. I want to see Spider-Man by Charles Dickens. Let's make it happen.
let's reanimate Charles Dickens.
Mm-hmm.
And have him write Spider-Man.
What did we think of?
Sorry, I was going to say what we didn't like it, but you can carry on, Booster.
I was going to say, what did we like about the art? I mean, what do we think of the art even?
Oof.
I thought the art was good for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I think because it was very kawaii, cartoony styled. But when you're trying to tell a story about all this grimness, maybe the cartoony aspects can put you off.
Mm-hmm.
I think the art was serviceable enough. A couple of the pages you can see there was probably some, time, probably chasing time because some
of the eyes were off and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Some of the art looks rushed in some panels.
Mm-hmm. You can see some people in the background and they are really quickly put in. I think they have done it very kind of like rush job on it.
Because they probably wanted to release it by Christmas, didn't they?
But I guess you can't fault the artist for that. I just think it's serviceable. It didn't add to the book that much, but it didn't take away from it as well.
I don't know why I have this written down, but I really loved that. I really loved the smoke effects. There was a lot of smoke in this book, and I loved how it looked. It looks really nice. It was cozy to me.
Well, there's some scenes in it where it does set a scene with the lighting and stuff like that, where the Ghost of Christmas Present shows up and it feels quite warm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas previously it was cold, because you're in his house and it was showing his past and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of makes you feel what that atmosphere is like.
Yeah. So here's the thing. This is advice to any aspiring writers, and Booster and Beckus, you too.
Oh yeah.
Artists freaking love smoke and mist. It's so easy to draw, and you can fill background with it, and don't be bothered with.
And you can cover shit you don't want to draw. I see.
Exactly. It's so good. Like any battle, boom, smoke, dust settling in. Fuck it, just hide everything you can so you can move on.
Absolute
it's
laziness.
so good, man.
And he wants to get
Right.
paid at comics artist rate. Puh.
Write in more dust and
Do you guys have any other notes?
So I have Tiny Tim, Crippled Zombie. I have Hunting for Valve. I have Art. Right? Atmosphere. I have a note that just says British.
Well, it is British, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think in the first issue, it's like these two lovely chaps, and they'll go like, "Oh, diddly dee, to be British, whoop de doo." But and for some reason, there's this panel of Ebonich, and he goes, "Be gone from my sight, imposter!" And I immediately thought of a shitty meme, so I sent it to Booster.
Yeah, I had to put in the
What
video.
did
don't I? Oh.
Now you have to put it. You have to put the sus music.
did the ghost turn into an imposter?
Mm-hmm. And
I
like
do
the
not want
zombies in
Amogus
the
memes on
story-
my channel, you son of a bitch.
Just like the zombies in this story, this meme will be dead from Christmas.
Alright, what did we not
I
like?
mean, the meme is already dead. There's not much that I didn't like about it, other than like the art was a bit rushed in some areas. I guess because the thing is, I feel like they added the zombies, so there was more action in the comic.
Yeah.
So it's not just a straight off kind of just lump of a read. You know, you have the aspects of Tiny Tim's house being invaded and stuff like that. And at the beginning, you know, two fat ladies get eaten.
See, I can't really pinpoint what I dislike about this comic because it achieves everything it set out to do perfectly, right?
Mhm.
You get exactly what's promised on the tin. You get A Christmas Carol, you get zombies. It's very true to A Christmas Carol, and they just kind of shoved zombies in it. So yeah. It's hard to fault it when it gives you exactly what you promised.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. And I think it's quite. I do think it's quite a charming book.
Mhm.
We should just read the novel, to be fair, and picture zombies in our head.
It does actually. The zombie gimmick does make me kind of think it's a bit of a shame they just didn't go all out with just making A Christmas Carol.
That's
Just
what I'm
give us
saying. I
Christmas
think
Carol
they
comic.
added. I think Marvel added the zombies just so that readers aren't really bored.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess you could have achieved the same thing with like vampires or something. I'm not sure, but you know, it's a vampire's Christmas Carol.
Just Tiny Tim
That's
behind the
probably a
curtain. I will suck your blood.
They're all trying to like
I'll suck your
drink
blood, mister.
Scrooge's wealth.
Bloody
Mister.
commies.
Oh.
Shall we rate it?
So yeah, what would you guys rate it?
Okay.
To me, it's not a 10 out of 10 book. It's not bad, but it didn't break any new grounds. It didn't surprise me with anything. And it didn't have like blow your mind moments. I think it's a completely solid read. So I'd give it like 7 out of 10.
I will give it a not Batman Noel out of 10. Or more accurately, a 7, maybe an 8.
I'd have to give it a 7.5.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think that's about what it's worth to me, right?
Mm.
You get what you
Yeah.
promised, and it does what it does. It set out to do well.
It-
Maybe
it-
it's not what you want. What it sets out to do may not be what you want, but it promises it and it delivers.
But this book does beat the shit out of
Mm.
Batman Noel.
It's
Listen-
much better as a
listen,
Christmas
motherfucker.
Carol, and it's much better
If
as
you
a
want-
Christmas
Yeah.
story.
So clearly, if you want to read Christmas Carol with from DC or Marvel, choose the Marvel zombie one. It's way better.
I didn't think I'd be saying that. It just it just really puts more emphasis on how much of a disappointment Batman Noel was. Ugh.
Yeah, and if you've not watched it already, watch our review of the Noel one.
Watch all of our reviews.
Well,
and
it'll
like
be,
and subscribe.
it would be our only negative review because it's Christmas.
And we didn't plan it. We don't plan to do negative reviews. We try to do only showcase things we like.
Yeah. And since it's Christmas, how about you give us a little present of that subscribe and a like and maybe a little comment.
Subscribe, hit the notification.
Give us a little YouTube feast.
Yeah. Share with friends.
Give me money. And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you all.